All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I agree with everything Sabrina just said. But my comment is kind of changed pace a little bit, but still on topic. Um, I think the issue is that a lot of people, yeah, anger is something that happens, but a lot of people take other people's situations and impart them upon themselves. I think that's the issue here. That's the issue with this whole angry black woman syndrome thing that we talking about. Is that a lot of black women take other black women's situations and impart themselves upon that. That's why I was saying weeks ago or months ago when I was a little upset with we got a bunch of women that are older talking about older issues and calling out stuff that's dealing with men that they have dealt with. And like I said, the younger women that I've dealt with speak upon y'all issues like they went through it.
Oh.
And I think that is the problem with this whole angry black woman syndrome.
Okay.
There's a lot of people take on things that they ain't have nothing to do with. And that's what's wrong with the world. Everybody worry about somebody else's business instead of worry about your own.
Okay. Heather D.
Oh my goodness, this is really good discussion. I wanted to know, I'm not the facilitator of this, can we at some point look at the two characters and figure out in the relationship from what we were able to look at, what did they bring into the relationship, right?
You mean Melinda and Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of Melinda, they were both college students, right? He was already struggling, right? He already had a situation that let her know, okay, he has stuff going on. He doesn't have family, etc. She had two sisters, her mom passed away, etc. And then you start to see like more of their personality and characteristics kind of like changing. You know, her mom passed away, her two nosy sisters are out there kind of like, you know, being in her business, saying, what are you doing with this guy? But her emotions was telling her like, he's needy and there's something about him that I like and I want to be there for him and I like him. And I feel like for a lot of us over 40 or wherever age range we are, we women, we're nurturers. Some of us are. And when we see somebody that we can relate to, we want to take that on. Sometimes men and sometimes women are projects. And we feel like, you know what, there's something in me that can really help this person move along and maybe we can do it together. And I felt like that's what Melinda was doing. She was struggling
to fix her upper.
I guess. But yes, still trying to make a life for herself. And there was so many sacrifices that she made to support his dreams of inventions and what he was doing. And at no point, even though he was struggling, I mean, the little things that he was doing wasn't making any noise for her because she was working hard. All I kept seeing was exhaustion. Like, I'm exhausted. It's hard to love somebody when you're constantly pouring into them and trying to maintain and keep everybody above water. And then everybody expects you. And I feel like this of Black women to stay strong all the time, to be loyal all the time, to no end. At no point are we supposed to, falter. We're supposed to just always be there. But what happens to us emotionally? We start breaking down. That strength sometimes is tiring. And I saw that in this movie. I don't know if any other woman here saw that. She was exhausted. And it wasn't like he said, let me rub your feet, baby. Let me cook you a dinner. it was like, okay, I'm trying to make sure these resources are coming back to the house. I'm trying to make sure the mortgage is being paid. It's just like, sometimes as women, we expect men to kind of take ownership and be the head of the household. This is not that situation. I don't know if whenever it's been traditional for Black people at this point, but at the same time, she was there. After 20 years, I don't know how much more you could give.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very true. Miss Wonder Woman.
Hi guys. So
Hello.
I saw the movie when it first came out, and then I actually watched it again a couple of days ago. And there was a scene in the movie where she came to him and she said, "Listen, we're in trouble." You know, she was looking at the bills and she pretty much said, "Listen, we're in trouble. We're drowning here." And his response to her was, "Okay, I'll try to get a job. I'll try." So when does it get to a point, I support, you know, uplifting your man and supporting him, but when does it get to a point where he says, "Okay, I have this goal, but I also have a family to take care of." That part to me, I thought was extremely selfish of him, because you can have a goal and you can try to accomplish that goal, but you also have a family, a wife to take care of. She was working two jobs. So when she came to him as his wife and said, "Listen, we are in trouble," and his response to her was, "Okay, I'll try to get a job," and kind of with an attitude, I mean, where do we go from there? Like, how are you supposed to accept that? It's just a question, because it just bothered me. So how do you
I
accept
agree with you right there, Miss Wonder Woman. Because in the words, infamous words of Young Dolph, may he rest in peace. If that nigga don't work, he a fucking leech. So yeah, I agree with that.
And as women, that's really not our role. We are the weaker link, and or the weaker vessel, so to speak. And so that's really not our role to uphold the household. And so that just
There go Douglas. Douglas about to have a heart attack.
Douglas, go ahead.
Over a month ago, y'all was scoffing at gender roles. Now you saying it's role.
That's boy.
We didn't say that.
Boy,
We said that there were gender roles, but go ahead.
Speak up, Douglas, please.
Let the words come out properly. Well, see, this goes back into the feminist movement and stuff, and where y'all say you're equal and stuff until you got to be equal, and now it's hard. We weaker vessel, but that's just my little asterisk there. It's like, well, first of all, they shouldn't have got married, because did she run the car into a trailer when he was cheating with the other girl?
Yes,
You know,
and that's why she got the hysterectomy. But
no, but the point is, they had some issues to begin with, and because she didn't have standards because of childhood trauma, he was cute. She liked him, and so she stuck with him and stuff until they got to the point. I came in and heard the conversation where she said, "Well, we're in trouble." She working two jobs and stuff, something that men do all the time to support the family. Now the shoe was
Something that men do. That's what they're supposed to do. But go ahead.
And now that the shoe is on the other foot, it becomes an issue. But the brother had a dream. Ever since she met him, he had a dream to do this thing. And that dream got in the way of the marriage and the relationship. And so, based on whatever she was feeling, whenever she was feeling, if she had decided to end the marriage on her own, I don't think she would have been that bitter.
I think you're right about that.
Influence, in a generalized sense, the outside influence caused her to do something that she didn't really want to do, and that's what made her bitter. And a lot of times, that's what happens in real life. You know, you do something because somebody said, "Girl, if it was me, I do this, you know, I wouldn't take that and stuff. And you'd be like, girl, you're right. And then now you become the typical angry black woman for whatever valid reason there is. You still
Typical. Wow.
Say again.
Okay.
Wow.
When you said typical, what? See, and that lets me know. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to direct this to you, but I am. Typical. That means you believe that stereotype about Black women to sound off on it by saying typical, and that sounds very negative to me. And it just goes back to what a lot of the women on here said.
I can say that's your opinion, and after I said typically, I said a generalized statement, and I said she was with her for valid reasons, and that's how it's displayed, and that's how we call it. That's how society calls it. I call it do what you feel, do you.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
That's all.
And in the chat, Yvonne said, henceforth she fell in love with his potential while ignoring the red flags. And he fell in love with the idea of having a sugar mama. What do you think about that, Douglas?
Each individual has to come up with their own standards and what they will and will not take. And when they decide when enough is enough, they make a decision to move on.
Okay.
And I'm on the don't look back, don't blame anybody else. You know, you did what you did. That's why you have to know who you are and what you can accept. You know, I think she had another year in the marriage, and everything would have been all right, and it would have been all worth it.
I don't think that, and the reason why I say that is because I think that had he stayed with her, Diane wouldn't have pushed his project through. She only pushed the project through after they had separated and divorced, or separated and were on their way to the divorce. Yeah.
Well, and then in that case, he could have finally said, you know, I tried after all these years, I'm gonna go be a regular person.
He could have.
But that wasn't it. That wasn't his mindset. His mindset was to get that project out. He's
make it work.
Been doing it for so many years. Nothing else mattered except for that.
Right, but we're talking about assumptions now. You know, what would have happened if they stayed together and the other lady wouldn't have pushed the project? He could have came and said, okay.
She wouldn't have pushed the project through.
That's what I'm saying. He would have came to the point where I'm not going to get this done no matter what I do. I've been trying all these years, and he possibly could have given up. You know, that's just one scenario.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you, Douglas. His mindset that was the most important thing in his life. Nobody else.
I'm giving a man's assumption of what can happen. So.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So he used the other girl to push the product though. That's what it was for. It wasn't. He wasn't cheating. He wasn't trying to get with her. He was trying to get that product off.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to tell Douglas.
And she saw it as an opportunity to come in between them.
Right.
Go ahead.
The most important thing.
She didn't though. He wasn't hitting it. He wasn't like he was in a shelter. Do y'all forget? He was in a shelter washing dishes. She took that. Oh, y'all forget that part.
No, I didn't forget that part.
Oh,
I didn't forget that part.
I didn't forget
she
that.
She doesn't forget. She had dinner with a dude, watching him wash the dishes, laughing at him.
Danny, it wasn't her intention to get in between them. However,
you don't think so? I think
so. You know why? Because look at where he was at. He was downtrodden. I mean, they had the history from back in the day. He was back. It was back in the day that they were together. She knew how crazy his wife was, because remember how that went down. So that's why I don't think it was her intention at first. But once he divorced the wife, then she was like, okay, I helped him get this project. He's getting X amount $1 million. All right, let's see what we can do.
Maybe when she knew, when she knew that she was getting that bag, he was getting that bag, then her thing changed. But remember, she wasn't trying to help him at first either. Remember, she was ignoring him too.
She wasn't.
Yeah, but she did leave that wallet in that car. She did leave the wallet in the car, and she knew crazy, and she knew Belinda was crazy.
Because she was doing the research on the product. She knew it was going to go through.
Panties in the hamper.
Under the
Dr.
pillow.
Seductive and Chocolate
Mhm.
Pearl. I was wondering, and this is to Douglas because he got me fired up a few minutes ago. I want to know if the roles were switched, right? This marriage where he basically, you know, she had an invention or she had some situation going on. Well, do you think that man, that black man, would have been in that situation for 20 years and loyal? Okay, thank you. That's all I want to know.
Yes, he
That's
would.
my opinion. I'm saying no.
He would
But
still
Douglas,
be there.
before you answer, keep in mind she was talking to Chocolate Pearl and Dr. Seductive and asking us that question. Our reply was no.
That's
Hell to the no. Because these
the
men out here, they will drop you for less.
Right.
I'm telling you.
the
They will
numbers
be like,
in
what?
marriage.
Thank you,
Oh,
Kim D.
Hey,
Listen,
here
ladies.
it is.
Listen, ladies.
$40.
The
He
numbers.
still would have been in the marriage, but he would have had 2 or 3 others.
Yeah,
That's probably
exactly.
more likely.
She didn't do that.
But-
She didn't cheat on him.
But you're saying would the man have dropped her? No, the numbers bear that. The 70% of divorces are initiated by women. 7 out of 10 people get married. The woman is going to initiate divorce 7 times. So no, the man won't leave her because men are taught to stay in there. Now does it happen? Yes, it would happen. But the most likely thing is that if he feels that she's not giving him what he needs, what he feels he needs,
He would go find somewhere else to
He
get
go
it.
yeah,
find
but he's
someplace
gonna
else
keep
and
it. He's gonna keep his wife though. He's gonna keep his wife because it's cheaper to keep her.
I knew
Okay, you're
Yeah.
right.
And when a
Yeah.
Our
woman
toes
is
got
But-
stepped
failed,
on, but
yes,
it's
not
okay.
gonna
file for
support her.
divorce
Anson?
Still not
and
gonna
be
support
done.
her like
and that's
that.
why I
I
said
just
he would
don't
still
agree.
keep the marriage. Therefore, he wouldn't have dropped her. He just would have added on. Which is
Okay,
different from y'all question of just dropping them. So
okay. Anson and then Danny. Thank you for putting your hand up, Danny.
Oh, okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah,
It's my turn.
what I was gonna say is what we just heard was the bullshit that I be speaking of. Because
So bullshit.
I didn't see the movie. I didn't see the movie. I don't really know what's happening in the movie. I'm not gonna watch the movie because we all know what's going on. This happens on a regular basis in other people's life. But all this justification for whatever she did is my problem with what women do. This is a situation that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. But y'all saying, oh, she was right. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. Oh, she put up with this. What was her?
That was the
her?
purpose of this discussion was to
And that's my
talk
point.
about how
And
we
that's my
felt
point.
about the movie.
And that's my point about
And
all
today,
discussions
and
that we have
along with today's relationship, it was supposed to be we talk about the movie or we've seen the movie and how do we relate that with today's relationships?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's still stuff that went on in that movie, Anson, actually still goes on today.
And that's what
And so
I'm
this
talking
is,
about
we
right
wanted
now.
to know with a lot of us strong Black women, will we tolerate it? So this is why, or these strong Black men, will they still tolerate? Will they still go through this with today's society versus that movie?
So this is why I'm bringing that up, is because that is the core of the problem, right? As part of the problem right there, is that we have women banding together for another woman's somewhat wrongdoing, regardless of whether she was wrong or not. Y'all gonna stand up for her, regardless. You don't know the
Yes, sir.
situation, you ain't got nothing to do with the situation. You don't even know why they doing what they doing. But oh, she must have had a reason to do this, so she did it, so it's okay. And that is what I hear week in, week out on this platform. And I get tired of it. That's why I speak up about it every single week.
Okay, duly noted. Danny and then Yvonne.
I just got to reply to Chocolate Pearl. She said that he cheated. All right, whatever. He cheated. That was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, right? She watched that man in the damn restaurant wash dishes while she sat there with that dude. She went home and banged that dude, right? But guess what? Grass wasn't greener. She's addicted to what that other dick did. You understand what I'm saying? Come on now. He's at his lowest and she's still thinking about him. So now let me tell you. So when he get that bag, not only is she thinking about that money, she thinking about what that thing gonna do. She getting all that. See, y'all women leave all that out. I'm tired of that, man.
Ooh. Danny, are you hot, baby?
Danny, we just don't talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. If we talked about this, I was going in. I told you.
Look, my cousin got the magic stick, and I'm a dude, no homo. Do know what he talking about.
Okay, Danny, we do talk about that. We just don't talk about it in mixed company. But we do talk about that.
And, okay. And that's why your girl be trying to highlight it. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See, y'all talk about it with your girls. He doing this, he doing that. And that's why when you want to leave, that's why the girl trying to see right there. You're telling on yourself, right there, right there.
Wait, but hold up for a minute. Heather D, where you located?
In New York City. New York City.
Yvonne.
In the travel.
Okay, Yvonne, and then I'm going to pass it over to Chocolate Pearl.
Okay, so there was several things that is related to what goes on now. One of the things were she should have went to therapy to get healed from the traumatic experiences that she faced growing up in her household.
Miss Yvonne, you got to cut off one of your systems.
In addition,
I did cut mine off.
No, it's Miss Yvonne. You have two systems on where you're listening to us twice or on two different devices?
No, only have one.
Oh, because we have a
okay.
Really good Y'all in the same room?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Okay, now I knew it was you need to mute Seductive and then let
Yvonne speak. Going on over there. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Oh, you're so pretty.
Well, thank you. You are too.
You'll see her tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, I figured that out now. There you go, Razzle Dazzle. There's another one of your guests.
So now going back to what I was saying was I felt like she should have went to therapy first to heal from all the traumatic generational things that were going on with her family, because women pretty much ran the household, if you can tell, with her sister, with the advice and everything. Another thing she shouldn't have done was talk her business to her family, because by doing so, that gave them the ear to further push her to making the decisions. Now, on the flip side, he had a choice. He chose to stay into all of that. She fell in love with his potential, believing that he had this great idea that will run. However, the ship sailed and sank and sank and sank and sank for 20 years. And that's a long time for someone to keep dealing with, okay, I had all this money that I gained from my family's inheritance. I didn't put the house on the market. And now what does it leave me? So, of course, he saw the anger issues that she had before they even got married. So it's not like he did not know what he was going into. However, he still chose. Now, he probably was putting it down. Hey, I get that. However, she got tired. And so sick and tired
I was about to say, good D covers a multitude of sins.
What?
Good D covers a multitude of sins.
No, sir. No, sir, buddy.
For a certain time frame, but then after a while, you know,
it can only hold up for so long.
When you find out you can get good D somewhere else, you don't have to put up with the same old
FOMO.
I'm just saying.
It holds up for so long. Go on, baby, keep talking.
Oh, wait, Yvonne, she just made me think of something else. So this crazy woman.
Really, Danny? We didn't already argued in the chats. Now,
No.
I let you talk,
Yvonne,
and I wasn't even
Yvonne,
done,
listen,
and you interrupted.
You just made me think. No, you just made me think of something. When she ran the trailer over, right? Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
That's right, Danny.
Thank you. So, in addition, like I said, he chose to stay. He could have left, but he chose. By choosing to stay, he allowed her to treat him the way that she did, and that taught her that it was okay that she can continue that behavior. So what you allow and what you accept, that's a personal issue that you got to deal with yourself.
think that's what Sabrina said earlier today, when she talked about it. So yes, I agree with you on that. It becomes a complacent and it becomes a routine. And so when you do the routine and it becomes complacent, it doesn't seem like it's a problem for the person who is happening to, but on the outside, it does seem like it's a problem. That's like with the sisters seen on the outside, looking in and just listening to the walls and only get bits and pieces or only her side of what's going on. And when you do that, you allow yourself to get influenced by others, which causes you to become an angry Black woman.
Exactly. And also now, with the way she was talking to him, do I agree with that? No, because that was taking his balls. However, he should have took his balls back, but he chose not to. So now, Danny, I would love to hear what you have to say.
I want to talk about that man balls, no homo. Now listen.
You want him to be smooth, don't you?
That's only for me. That's only for me.
Oh.
Listen, when she ran over that trailer with that car, right? Remember, that was a crazy act. Now she messed up her own inside. She did all that, right? Fast forward to later when he didn't make that delivery and he's in the house and he's explaining to her. Mental abuse. That man was getting mentally abused for years. She said, "Do you know how crazy I could get? That's a threat." She threatened that man. So let me ask, fellas, y'all don't agree?
I agree.
I'm not a felon. I agree.
Some of y'all getting beat. Some of them getting beat. I don't fuck.
I'm blinking. Hey, Danny, I'm blinking once.
You blinking once.
Yes. Strictly mental.
Patrick, are you blinking once?
Patrick, we would love to see your blink.
It was strictly mental abuse, and I'm gonna say it's on both sides. But mental abuse affect men in a different way than it do women.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all keep it to yourselves.
He never yelled at her. He never laid a hand on her. He never spit in her food. Nothing. I'm King Petty. I would have did something, not put my hands on her, but oh my God.
Should have got some extra chocolate sprinkles on the ice cream, Danny.
You got Yvonne.
Golden shower apple juice.
She had to go over there and put her hand down.
Okay.
She already.
All right.
All right. Over to my girl, Chocolate Pearl.
Okay, so I might light up a little bit more this fire with this question, and it is more similar to what Patrick had asked earlier today. Now, for the ones who didn't take the time to watch the movie or didn't get a chance to watch the movie, there is some portions of what we had already discussed about the patience of a person. So that was a whole 20 years of failure. And her giving her life up. Yeah, she was an angry person where she did things out of anger, which actually harmed herself. But in the long run, she really loved this man and she stood by him and she supported him. I can't really say mentally because to me, the verbal abuse to me messes with your mental. But she supported him financially where she had a lot of money. I can't remember how much, but I know she had a lot of money to where she didn't even have to work, and a house, and she lost everything. And she struggled to keep everything afloat. Now, my question is this: how long could you, now forget about the movie, I'm going to today's time, you yourself, man or female, how long could you support your mate in their endeavors after finances has become a struggle? How long would you hold on? How much patience will you have after you know that you're about to have nothing?
3 years and 10 months. That's how long.
Now, Danny, you had your hand up. I know it took you a while to find that button. But is your hand still up from before, or you actually want to answer this question?
I can answer it. You said, how long would it take?
Yeah. How long do you feel you can take to the point when you realize that you about to lose everything?
Get you back.
When I feel that you playing me, like, because I've been in this situation. I've held a lot of people down, and I got the shit end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, it is no time limit on that. If I feel you, if I rock with you, I rock with you. But if I see it ain't going nowhere, you know when to throw the towel in.
Okay. Anson?
I agree with everything that Danny said.
We can't hear you, sweetie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. You can't hear me? I don't have a mute button on. Can you hear me?
Okay. We can hear just your volume's not loud, but go ahead.
Okay. I agree with everything Danny just said. It all depends. It all depends on the bond that you and that person have. That was one of the questions I was gonna submit to the show, but y'all ain't never asked none of my questions, so I'll stop submitting them.
That's not true. I got to come back and get on Anson case. We have used several of your questions, sir. So don't play that role like we overlooked you, because we did not.
I haven't submitted any questions.
You haven't submitted any recently.
Yes, in months.
Okay, well, let's focus on this question right now, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Dr. Fabulous, you have your hand up.
I'm still answering the question.
Oh, okay.
So it all depends. It all depends on the relationship that you have with who you with, and it also depends on your job and your bank account. But it depends on how long it takes for you to feel like you're getting taken advantage of. Because I think that's what a lot of men suffer from and deal with. That's why a lot of relationships don't last. And I hear the panel here, the ladies on the panel, talk about this week after week, how sometimes they feel like they've been taken advantage of. So I would say that short answer is until you feel like you're getting taken advantage of.
Okay, you done now?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I just didn't want to, interrupt.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Fabulous.
Well, I guess I'm gonna do a little difference. I'm not gonna allow that person that longevity as far as how long they're gonna take up my time and space and effort, because I do believe that when you meet someone, they can have plenty potential, but Dr. Fabulous can't live on potential. It's the here and the now. And with that being said, I'm going to give you, listen, even when dating someone, and I always say this, a man knows who he wants to be with. So does a woman. You can meet this man tonight and you say, oh, I'm going to give him some, because, that's what you want to do. But that's the same way with a man. A man truly knows if he wants to be with that woman. When he meets that woman, give it 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm that type person. I'm not going to deal with an individual more than a year and a half tops, because that's a waste of my time and I could be moving on to someone else. So
if you was married, the same, because Dr. Fabulous,
if I was married,
now, well, the reason why I'm saying that, this is not just they were married, even though they dated, and she still helped him out while she was dating him, and then they got married. But the way you're talking is just somebody you dated.
No, I'm talking about dating.
Didn't you say? Yeah, but didn't you say your husband? You were there to help support your husband when he was building his business. Right. Supposing it took your husband a little longer than when it did take for him to build his business, would you have stayed with him?
I believe in putting the fire under an individual and the potential of, I was there for my husband. Thank God it did not take him a long time. Patience is very virtual for people, and God is still working on me with patience.
So how long did you wait for him to get it together, Dr. Fabulous?
My husband was swift. He went and sat for the constructor's test, and his business began as soon as he passed that test in Macon. It was on and popping.
So how long did you wait?
About 6 months. He had to study for the test because, like I said, I'm in that year window. That year, a year and a half is tops.
Were y'all dating at the time, or were you married?
We were married. We were married. He was
Me,
all right.
Me and you ain't gonna work, Dr. Fabulous. I take a little bit longer than that.
Danny, you know I
so you won't take no longer than that.
Danny, you already know how it is. So let's not put our business in the street. Be quiet, Danny.
Where is it? Where is it written?
Wait a minute, Patrick is talking.
No, we were talking. That was Danny doing that.
What?
Ladies, and let me finish my thought here too. Where is it written that there's a metric for love? There's a timetable. There's a length. You know,
it's not, Patrick.
We've been in relationships long enough. We're over 40. And you know, most of our relationship that we've been in is like a roller coaster. It's been up and down, up and down. And once you have to decide, okay, if I'm gonna stay on this roller coaster or not. And listening to you ladies, first time trouble come along, you ready to jump off the roller coaster.
That is not right.
That actually that's not true,
that's not,
Patrick. That's but I see what you're saying. There are a lot of ladies.
It was dead silent.
But a strong woman will hold you down for a long period of time. Those are the weaker
Not a long
women.
period of time, but we'll hold you down.
There's some strong women that will hold on for a very long time.
Yes, tell them.
There's the difference.
And what I was saying about the support, Patrick, was
funny.
What I was saying about that question is how long for the endeavor, not the love, but the endeavor. I can love you, but after a certain amount of time, and 20 years is a very long time to stay poor. Where we had a lot of money, and now it's depleted, and you still have not found a job. You still have not succeeded in your endeavors. When do I need to say, that's it, I'm done?
You was in love with the money, or you was in love with the...
No.
Well, you can't live. I ain't gonna say that.
You gotta realize, Patrick. I see what you're saying, Patrick. You're saying that it's about the love. You have to realize.
Shaniqua, pause your phone. Mute your phone.
Oh, y'all can hear me?
Yes. You have to realize, Patrick. When I know they say money can't buy you love, that is correct. But money can help sustain your relationship because it will not allow you to struggle, because a lot of relationships die when the money is dead. Now, when I say you, I guess for richer or poorer, to death do you part. Okay, how much poor do I have to be to where I'm struggling to take care of you for 20 years? This man did not have a job for 20 years.
Yeah.
You took that vow though.
Chocolate Pearl, I got him. If you just call on me, I got him.
Okay,
go ahead, Tracy.
Put your hand down, Dr. Fabulous. Go ahead, Tracy.
Right, sorry.
Here we go. Patrick, you're equating tolerance with love, and that's the problem there. So how long am I going to tolerate you not having a job? No, let me go, bro. Let me go. When you said love is patient, she was talking about how long would you tolerate somebody or tolerate your money being depleted. But let me start here. Hope is not a strategy. So if my man is hoping that he gets his job up and going, and I agree a lot with Dr. Fabulous. It seems like a lot. Hope is not a strategy. I had an ex-husband who stayed in the planning stage. Well, he would have a plan that would last 3 years, right? So when are you going to get into execution? So my answer to this piece of it is, I will support my man, but trust me, if it has to do with my money or our money, there's going to be a strategy, there's going to be a plan, we're going to be monitoring it, we're going to make sure it's on task, because no woman should be asked to live with a man and her money's depleting and you're just supposed to tolerate. And that doesn't mean I love you less. That doesn't mean I love you less. It just means I'm smart. So that's my point.
Don't beat up the next man with that then, okay?
Well, no, we're not talking about the next man. We're talking about the current mate,
right,
female or male. We're not talking about the next relationship. We're talking about this is what happened, and I only took this amount of time. After a certain amount of time, financially, what we're gonna do is now I done seen where a lot of people where they both didn't have no job and they both got put out of their place and they both under the bridge together. Okay, that's standing strong. But if somebody was the only person for 20 years or more, the support of that household and that support no longer, and because of your endeavors, depleted our finances, how long can you take it to where you're the only one that's making it and you're the only one that's doing stuff, and even that's not enough.
I just want to finish my point real quick, just so you guys have it in a perspective. I bought my husband's car and put him through college, just so y'all understand where I'm coming from. So I supported him.
Yay.
2 degrees now. I supported him, but what I'm saying is women shouldn't be asked to wait forever. Again, hope is not a strategy. If I have a man that's just sitting around, it's like I'm hoping to get something. I have an idea, but never has a plan. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna help you with your idea, but if you don't execute it, I'm not waiting all day.
And see, that's the same thing I was saying, Tracy.
Exactly.
They asked me how long I waited for my husband. I helped him to study for that test.
Exactly.
I knew Boo Boo was gonna pass that test.
Exactly.
And we was gonna start that construction firm, and we was gonna be living that lavish life.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm talking about. But had he not passed it, I would have gave him one more try at getting that construction license. And if he didn't get it, baby, you need to find you another career, because we're not doing this all day and all night.
Exactly.
There you go. That's it.
Point all right, Malik.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Wow, I just want to, let things soak in and process, the information that I'm gathering. And I think it all goes back to, like you said, how much you're willing to take, because if a man was in that same position, like you said, and a woman is not working and I'm working, I'm thinking I would want to know, when is a change going to come? You know what I mean? So, but love does keep you there. One thing I learned about love, it'll bring you home early or keep your ass laid out at night. So it's just how much you really want to deal with that person, and how the closeness that y'all got. So it's all about give and take. We all understand that. So that's where I kind of feel about everything right now.
All right, thank you, Malik. Heather.
Wow. So, I mean, one thing that I saw that was lacking in the movie, and not trying to take sides, even though I was bearing more to Melinda, just listening to this conversation kind of opened me up to some other thoughts. And when I noticed that there wasn't partnership and collaboration, they were young, there wasn't like a real conversation. And of course, this is a movie, so we're not going to see everything about their relationship. But I feel like that's what's lacking in relationships now, is that from my experience, men out here are challenged with figuring out, are women out here true? They're doing all of this vetting to figure out who these women are. Are they trying to use them? Are they trying to love them for them? And what happens is sometimes they're looking for the superficial things, hoping to find something with substance. And then when they choose those things and they don't add up and they don't work out for a time or what have you, the mask comes off, right? They kind of look back and they think about some of these other women that had the potential and may not have been, the superficial thing that they were looking for. And it's almost like you're trying to figure out like how to connect with men so that they can understand your value, because I'm not in the business of trying to show worth anymore, who I am anymore. Like, if you can't see it in the time that I've been trying to get to know you, I've been trying to support whatever it is that you're trying to do. I'm trying to encourage you. After a while, it's just like, okay, time, you're going to give time, but for how long? At some point, it's not serving you that this person doesn't want to make the connection for whatever reason, past hurt, bad relationships, afraid to love or afraid to even just make that connection. After a while, it's like you're missing out on what you really wanted. You want a partner. You want somebody to collaborate with, so it's not feeling like it's one-sided all the time. And I believe women also show that as well. But we're the nurturers. I'm a nurturer. I'm always there. I want to be the support. I want to help, but not to my detriment, not to my hurting feelings, not to, feeling like, okay, love is lost out here. I'm good. I don't want to deal with dudes. Like, it's to the point where it's like, okay, what do y'all really want? It's DMX. What y'all really want from us? I don't know. I can't figure it out.
All right. Thanks a lot, Heather. iPhone. iPhone, you have your hand up.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to change my name. I wanted to answer the question because your question
Is that
was
Kim?
It's Kim. Hey.
Hey, Kim. I recognize your voice. Okay. You had Kim D up there before, but go ahead.
I tried to put Kim D up this time. I thought it had saved, but I guess it didn't. So, all right. But your question was, how long can you hang in? And I just wanted to say, like, I think you can hang in the relationship and believe in someone as long as you believe in them. I think, I don't remember all the details of the Acrimony movie, but I can say for myself, like, I can hang in with someone as long as I can still believe in your dream. And I think that you're still working towards your dream. What I do remember about that movie, and correct me if I'm wrong, was she was working and he was working towards his dream. But what I never understood was, why couldn't he go and get like a second job and at least show that he was supporting her in the household?
Exactly.
And I
That's what I was
say
trying
that
to tell Pat.
because, the thing is that, I can say this. I'm a single parent and I work multiple jobs while also working on my own business and things I want for myself. So I remember when I was watching that movie, I was like, why can't he go get a part-time job and pay a couple bills? And so at some point, it's just he might not have felt like he was taking advantage of her, but I very much felt like he was, because it's hard to work and be supporting someone, and then when you come home, they on the sofa and you've been out all day working
playing video games. Okay,
right? That's not cool, because everybody needs a break. And so you can stick into something as long as you believe in the dream. But if I keep coming home and you watching you on you do if I keep coming home and you playing video games or you watching movies and then I'm out here working, then at some point I can't believe in the dream anymore, because you're not working it like you should. And you're not working it to hold up the household to keep me involved in the dream. That was all I had to say.
Well said. Well said. Patrick, you have anything a rebuttal on what Kim just said?
Well, in the movie, the guy was he was trying. He had some obstacles in his way to try to fulfill his dream. Okay, he was trying.
What was he trying to do other than trying to get that right. Little thing he was doing, trying to get on it? But what else was he doing to support the household?
He was trying to get his dream up. That was his passion. Of course, maybe he should have gotten another job, but he was focused let me finish, Chocolate. He was focused on his dream, and his dream manifested. And then when it manifested, look what Taraji wanted to do. She wanted to hop back in his life. She wanted to be with
because they was about to lose the house before it manifested. So she all failed.
He gave her everything that she lost back plus.
But Patrick, in the midst of that, but she got everything back at the end. But when you're going through, when she was going through it, he watched her work, and he watched her really. She might have had some dreams she wanted to live out. She couldn't do her own dreams, and a simple part-time job could have helped her at least maintain who she was.
Sometimes you gotta have faith as a mustard seed to believe that things will happen.
Okay, but when that mustard seed
don't use my line,
through the cushions, what do you do then?
And sometimes you got to treat people the way you want to be treated as well.
That's true. I understand what Patrick's saying. You should always try to support as much as you can and be there for that person, and not down them. I get that. But what I'm saying to you, when men say I am the head of the household, but they're not doing anything to support that household because they're putting everything into their dream that's 20 years overdue, shouldn't you take the time to say, okay, after 10 years and money is depleting and we about to lose our house, electricity about to get cut off, when do you say, okay, I think I need to chip in? This woman found him a job, and they made a promise, they made a deal, and then he goes out, and the very first day that he's supposed to do his job, he dropped it. So, and then I see he had the opportunity to go ahead, but he screwed it up for a lot of people because once again, he was only thinking about that dream and nothing else. So but if he would have had a job before that, I don't think, just for me, my thinking when watching that movie is that I think they probably would have still been together because he was out there helping.
I'll put it to you like this, because let's say all of us got kids, like any of our kids play sports, we put them, AAU traveling teams. You willing to pay that money for your kid. You're not willing to do that for your spouse and like that. So I was going to say that, but then I thought about it. I can't do that. You're willing to pay for your kid's dream, but not your spouse's. Like, that's kind of hard. It's hard.
I get what you're saying, that you'll put everything in for your child, but that's your child. And to me, it's a little different because with your children, they can't go out there and support your household. That's not their responsibility.
I will put it to my child. I agree with that. I agree.
And also, there's going to be an end to the child in the sports. There's an end to that. There's an end. Right. There's an end, because at some point they're going to graduate, and either they're going to get that scholarship you've been working towards in the travel sports, or they're not. But but they're going to get to the 12th grade at some point. There is an end. You see an end to travel sports and to supporting your child in that manner.
Agreed. That's why I thought about it, and I was like, nah, let me shut up, because I had to catch myself.
Shaniqua or Ricky, which one is it? Shaniqua or Ricky, did you step out of the bathroom?
Hello? Nah, I'm still here. What up? How's everything, fam? All right, so guess what? Two people should
First come. First, before you answer that question, did you watch the movie?
They should be independent.
Did you watch the movie?
I simmered through it, but I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it. I simmered through it. But they should be independent. They should just be independent. That's it. That's why we teach our kids to be independent. Our daughters, our sons, to be independent. And then now everything comes together. That's it. You shouldn't be banking on your partner and banking on each other like that, But your partner just extra. Everybody just extra that comes to the table, That's all.
Right. I'm about to call you your son's name. I'm sorry. Ricky. Okay, I see you. Obviously, you kind of a little off on what you was answering, but I see what you're saying. Independency is fine. But okay, I'm gonna use in the scenario with your household. Shaniqua was in school, and supposing she was not working while she was going through school, and then it was time for her to take her test, and she didn't pass it, and then she go back out there again and try to pass it. How long would you take? How long would you deal with that and you just taking care of the household? Now think about the house you just bought. Supposing that she, wanted to do something else. Instead of her being a dental assistant, what if she decides she actually wanted to be a dentist? And that will take a little longer, and then she'll have to go through that. How much? But if she keeps failing, how long can you handle just taking care of that house that you just bought?
All right, look, listen, all right. When she was going to school, this is real. She was going to school, everything is good. I didn't bank on that. Like the house and all of that. If I can't afford it by myself, then it's not for us. or one of us can't afford it by ourselves, because one of us could go anyway. Yeah, one of us
That
could
was
just
the
drop
question. So you saying that she would have to end it?
No, she'd have kept on going. I'll just like it because she's trying and she's never given up. That's it. So she got to do it 20 times and keep on going or changing,
okay.
her things. Yeah, at least I see
she
that
would
she's
stay in
trying
it.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, not just chilling.
There you go, Patrick. You got somebody that's gonna hang in there with somebody as long as it takes.
Yeah.
Hold on, I agree with him too. I said the same thing. If I rock with you like that, if I rock with you like that, I'm gonna hold you down. I said that.
It's
I'm gonna hold you
only
down.
it's only the women that disagree that they're not gonna hold the men down.
You're right. There's a lot of us saying that we're not gonna hold them down. But my thing is this: if I'm about to lose my house because we can no longer afford it because I'm trying to hold you down, Patrick, how much can I take?
Exactly.
Not 20 years.
We're both underneath that, even though we're underneath that bridge together. I'm still getting up every day and going to work. I'm scrubbing myself at the truck stop. We sleeping in the car that we still possibly may still have. And you still trying to get this dream up.
It's showing that you love and you got character.
Patrick. Really? Wow. Okay.
Say that.
I'm one of them
Yvonne.
women.
Say that.
I'm one of those.
I think Patrick is reaching, but I get what you're saying because I'm sorry, not even a man will go through that. If he's about to be homeless,
get that.
If he about to be homeless because he can no longer hold the household down and she needs to find a job, and if she decides she ain't gonna find a job because she's looking on that dream, I don't think he would stay long. You could say he gonna stay there with her, but guess what? He gonna go to his mistress' house and hang with her. So he's still gonna have a roof over his head.
Danny, you hanging with me?
I'm here.
All right, Yvette, and nobody else have any comments. I'm gonna pass this over to Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood.
But I really say, hey, he got to go to the mistress house.
He's taking a nap.
He got to go to the mistress house because there's shelters for women.
Look, I was gonna.
It's shelters for men too. Don't go there. My brother went to one, so I know.
About 30 to 1.
Not
30
many.
to 1. But going on, I was going to do a case study, but we were running way over on time. I'm just going to make a couple of comments, and then I'm gonna close this out. Pass it around the horn to the team, close it out. My biggest thing is that, Melinda had some anger management and impulse control issues.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that when she first bumped into Robert. Now, counseling in the beginning might have helped her control that, but she had poor impulse control. Now, it was admirable that she stayed with him for that long. He was working on his mixtape for 20 years. She held him down, but she got tired of being the man in the relationship. And that's kind of where all the women are coming in with that. When the roles are reversed, shoulders are meant to carry burdens, not hips. And a lot of times, we going back to that with a man stay with a woman, a man will stay with a woman. It's the numbers show it. They might exercise options. Not gonna say that ain't gonna happen, but they will stay. It's women who get, like, look, I need better. I need more. You're not giving me enough. And that's why her poor impulse control, and that instead of divorcing him and walking away, she lost her ability to create children. She had a lot of ammunition to get rid of him. He was making his mixtape. I know it was technology, but basically he was making a mixtape. Her sisters, and I'm gonna say this, guys might not agree. Her sisters were looking in her best interest, but they really had no business being in her business like that.
Correct.
What I see earlier.
So, you know, it goes without saying that 3 people in a relationship built for 2 ain't gonna work unless you're polyamorous. But when you put people who you put people in your relationship, you can't expect them not to do anything. Because if you're talking to somebody else, if you're talking to a family member, a trusted confidant, you ain't talking about nothing good about that person. 9 times out of 10, you're complaining about that person. That chocolate pearl, she don't sweep the floor. That chocolate pearl, she don't cook every day. That chocolate pearl, she don't cut the grass when I tell her to. So when those other people see you, they're gonna see you in that negative light. Do you think she was saying positive stuff about Robert? Probably not.
Nope, not at all.
Probably not. And being quiet is not the thing. You want your helpmate to be able to give you timely advice, but dude had bum tendencies. He was a felon. He tried to rob a grocery store. That's why he couldn't get a job. He was smart, but he had poor impulse control. And he didn't understand what it was to be the man in a relationship, obviously. So you go into that lack of, you got mental health issues, you got impulse control problems, you got a lack of defined gender roles. And guess what happens? All things that happened were choices. They weren't, she wasn't forced to do anything. And it wasn't set up that, he held a gun to her head to keep her there. He ain't beat on her. Like Danny said, he ain't beat on her. Hell, do you know, according to the CDC, 56% of Black women abuse their partners and, in IPV, in intimate partner violence. And men to women is about 41%. And I think it was Anson who said that before. The mental stuff hurts a lot worse than the physical. The scars heal. Scars heal. You get surgery when it's deep inside. When it's deep inside, because women know they're less physically capable of beating a man. Physically, y'all know how to push buttons and get them. It caused him to lose confidence in himself. So he went to Diana, not and hear me out. This is not no excuse of what he did. He didn't go to Diana not as because it was available, but she, when she took him in, she made him feel somewhat of a man. And when your woman makes you feel like a man, you're gonna act like a man. Church. And that's the biggest thing. And in conclusion, what I'm gonna say is that we all know we need counseling. Every one of us in here. Everybody in here. And if you don't think you do, you definitely do. We have to understand that we have to look at us first to see what our part in the situation is. It wasn't him doing to her or her doing to him. It was that they both had unaddressed issues that they did not resolve. And a lot of those things happened. Her family tried to keep her from going to that wedding. She lost her mind when he was going to give Diane everything that she didn't have, that she felt that she deserved. And in her mind, it makes sense. She wasn't crazy, she was focused. Well, she was crazy, but that's another story. But you see what I'm saying? By the time she got to the chair, by the time she got to the therapist's chair, it was way too late. She should have did that back in college and recognized she had an issue, and nobody really told her about it, or she was allowed to continue that until she did that. And on that note, I'm going to pass it to Dr. Fab. Go ahead, Dr. Fab.
Okay, I would like to thank each and every one of you for hanging in here. I know it's 10:30. It might be late. You might have to get up and go to work. But I really want to say thank you. And to Douglas, I don't want you to think I beat you over the head with a hammer, because I always invite you to come on and speak. I know you hear me, Douglas. So why are you perpetrating with your picture up? Anywho, Douglas, I thank you for coming on. To Patrick, I don't want you to think we're not hearing you. We're hearing you. But like I said, everyone on this panel has the right to give their thoughts. And maybe each and every one of you may not have the same thoughts that the next person may have. But I will say thank you, everyone, for coming on. And with that being said, I'm going to say good night. Good night.
Night.
Good night.